Yeah, guys, we're coming a little late today, but better late than never. We're here to talk about the DK slate. I think this is the biggest one of the year, 14 games.
Wow. Yeah, saw that when we were like making our video when I first popped open the slate, and that explains why there's so many teams in good spots, right?
Absolutely, guys. We're going to fly through this quickly. Don't forget about the overlay promo. We just spent about 10 minutes talking about some of these matchups in the video we just did, already being down. We got really good lines going with Glass now and Margaret Vicious right now. So this matchup shop, I can tell you're getting geeked over it.
I know that you liked it when you bet Kamara and it kept going down so you could put more money on it. But like, how good of a feeling is it to know you put money on down on something and the line changed like in your direction? Meaning like how we bet on Margaret Vicious at 16 or 15 and a half, and now it's down to 12. Doesn't that just like feel good?
Yes. The flip side of it is like I would love it to keep going up. I just keep putting more money on it. And with like Kamara, when he was, only spotting Jacobs 3 points, and I'm like, I like that because I think Kamara is
See,
5 to 10 points better, and it kept going down. Like you just view those
as
things a little differently than I do.
yes, as a sports better, like that worries me. Like I know that you hit it the other night, and I agree. Like it seemed like Kamara was a lot over Jacobs, but that worries me. Like I like it more. Like what just happened for us.
See, because I think that's where my abundance or exuberance of probably too much confidence sometimes comes through, and I'm like, what are these morons thinking? Where you're like, you look at it like, what am I missing on this one? I'm obviously missing
Yes,
something.
not gonna lie. When I first started sports betting, that's exactly what I would be like too. Like let's say I bet Cleveland plus 2 points, like the Cavs, and then they were plus three an hour later. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm putting more down on it, and that's exactly how it would be like. So I think just being like getting burned so many times is what's really
Years
got.
of bad beats, right?
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. We all understand that, guys. The overlay promo works like this, though. If you have never played before, you sign up and make a deposit. We'll give you free 2 weeks of the 5 pack for a $50 deposit, $100 deposit free month, $500 deposit free annual membership, $1,000 deposit free lifetime memberships. Just screenshot it, send it to me. We'll go from there. Let's get a couple of thumbs up on this video, guys, if you don't mind. Subscribe if you're new to it. We're going to go right back to the well right here. No reason to get cute with it. Shane's not Justin Bieber, 10-2. Kiss, Occam's razor. This guy has been elite all season. He's been the best pitcher in baseball in real life. He's been the best DFS pitcher. Yeah, we don't love going up against the White Sox, but they're not playing for a ton currently or anything like that. This guy's putting the final touches on his Cy Young resume that, I guess the only thing that could happen here, in my opinion, is if he got lit up, he could lose it. I just can't picture this guy getting lit up. He's been so good.
Yeah, hard to imagine him getting lit up here. Been the best pitcher in baseball by far. You know, I've been high on the White Sox all year. However, especially recently, excuse me, they don't look great. Obviously, Abreu has continued to mash, but they've got a lot of strikeouts in their lineup. A couple other guys are ice cold right now. Luis Robert is swinging at everything under the sun. So there's definitely strikeouts to be had here. Bieber's, like, again, been the best pitcher in baseball. It's not a perfect matchup because the White Sox have a ton of power. He's faced them already this year and was solid. He's way too inexpensive at 10-2, very easy to roster. And there's so many ways to get different on bats. Like, I'm definitely not using it. I'm definitely
All right, I
like,
got two questions for you. Is DraftKings drunk again when they made this price?
right, like something. They're on something.
And the other one, I know I asked you this before, but I'll ask you for the public. Knowing that Cleveland needs him to be awesome in the playoffs, do you think there's any chance they give him a short leash tonight?
I feel like it depends what you mean by short leash. Like, no, I don't think that he's going to be like, they're going to be worried about his pitch count. I don't think they're going to stress him like and have him go 130 pitches, but we never really expect that. Again, he's pushing hard to wrap up the AL Cy Young. He's going hard for the AL MVP. So I think that his leash, he's deserved about as long as a leash as you could get, right? Even we saw Blake Snell last night have a very long leash.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you. I'm asking you because you're a Cleveland Indians guy. You probably have your beat on the pulse of this team as much as anybody that I know. So I just wanted to double check that. I knew the answer from when we talked earlier, but I thought we'd get that out there. Is the only potential pitfall in a guy at the end of the week is maybe they only let him go 80 pitches. But I'm with you. It seems like there's enough intangible things going on right here that he's going to have his normal leash.
I wouldn't be shocked if we saw it, but I'm not planning on it. I guess is the best way to put it.
All right, let's move over to combats. Anthony to the Rizzo home run yesterday. Looks like he's kind of breaking out of, I wouldn't call it a year-long slump because he 10 home runs, but he hasn't been himself this year. He's very cheap, only 3,800. He's got some pretty good numbers off this gas can named Trevor Williams. And for some inexplicable reason, it is one of the best pitcher parks in Major League Baseball, PNC. He kills it there. I don't know why it is. Maybe the dude just loves the backdrop. Maybe it's just the Pittsburgh pitching. I don't know, but he loves PNC Park.
Yeah, maybe he's got a girl out there. Well, it wouldn't really matter in the bubble, and he's probably married, so no, none of that. But yeah, this guy is much better than a 3.8K hitter. He hasn't been great this year. We like a little bit of Cubs in this spot, not going too heavy on them. But at under 4K here, Rizzo looks just like a cog in the machine type with upside. I never have any problem picking on Trevor Williams. He's my favorite piece.
Nor should you. All right, next up, Kettle Marte, batting second tonight. The lineup's already been released, second base and outfield eligibility. How popular do you think he is? You meant how popular do you think he is? I know you mentioned earlier you think he'll be very chalky tonight.
I do. I think he's about 30% owned.
Okay. This is where you and we just view this one a little bit differently, which is kind of why we wanted to talk it out. I have no problem fading a guy who I think he's good, but he ain't been good this year. And this is one I like to fade in GPPs because, again, he just has not had a very good season. And I don't mind fading a guy that's, been riddled with, zeros, twos, and fours all season.
So I definitely don't mind fading him for sure. It just goes into an ownership play. Any hitter in baseball, I can always get on board with fading at high ownership. I like Kettle Marte, though. So I like him. I think he's way too cheap. I will probably have, if I play 3 lineups, I'll play him in 1, maybe 2, definitely not 3. I just think he's much better than this price tag. Like, this was a guy that was 5K for much of the year, and I get it. He hasn't been great this year, and I get why you like the fade. Kind of role reversal here because he's a cash game play that I like. And yeah, that's just how it works today.
Yeah, this is definitely a fade guy for me because if you tell me he's going to be chalk, I mean, he's got, 5, 6, 7 good games all season. I have no problem fading him. Now, that all being said, he's having a bad year. And actually, a lot of the guys we're talking about today have been having bad years. We know that they are better than that. Kettle Marte was a very good baseball player last year. But this whole shortened season has messed with a lot of dudes. My favorite player is Christian Yelich. He has not had a great season. Rizzo, who we just brought up, he has the 10 home runs, but not having a great season. And Marte just seems to be one of many, many baseball players this year that I'm sure next year he'll be very good again, but just having a rough year in this weird season of baseball.
I mean, you're not wrong. And, I'll say this just about the ownership fade. Even, last night, I was high on Freddie Freeman. I didn't think first base was that nice. I played him in 2 or 3. But when I saw his ownership, before obviously he went off for 28 DK points, I was like, man, I wish I only played him in 1 or 3. He was 40% owned. And I don't like those guys on big slates like that.
Understandable. Let's keep moving on down the list. Another guy who's not having a great season. I will say, though, he does have 14 home runs, playing in a great pitcher's park or a great hitter's park tonight in his home field of Cincinnati. Eugenio Suarez, only 3,700. Even if you use the 2 most expensive pitchers, he fits right into that build. Hauser's been getting housed lately. Suarez is the guy we typically like against lefties. He's been good off of Hauser, 4 of 9 with 2 bombs. And we like Cincy in the spot.
Yeah, we like Cincy in this spot. Suarez is always going to be one of our top pieces from the Reds. We both like Suarez a lot. Another guy that's just way too cheap for his power upside. I hard recommended him a couple days ago when he homered, so he's on my good side. Hauser's not very good. I like this call in all formats.
Yeah, Hauser's been struggling to make outs at the professional level this year, no doubt about it. He's been worse against lefties, so another point there, Cincinnati lefties are also widely in play. Again, we like Suarez against lefties. We like lefties against Hauser. So there are some holes to our theory tonight, but Suarez was one of the first guys that we both brought up. So we both like him. It just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Speaking of lefties, let's move over to the Minnesota Twins tonight, taking on Weds. Max Kepler scorching out at the plate over the last couple of nights, 6 for 10 with 2 bombs and a double the last couple of days. Twins. You just talked about the White Sox getting cold at the wrong time. The Twins are getting hot at the right time. Winners of 3 straight. Offense is starting to roll. Give me some Mad Max Kepler.
Yeah, I mean, we like the Twins here. You don't have to sell your soul on them, but they are hot at the right time. Kepler looks good right now. Their whole lineup's in play, affordable. A reason why no team, in my opinion, is going to be chalk tonight, and why it makes even more sense to get off guys like Kettle Marte, to your point, is that there's so many good spots. So I'm with you. I like the Twins here. Kepler's a rock solid piece.
Yeah, it's going to be I'm interested big time in the MLB playoffs this year. I think we're going to see some wild and crazy stuff. which is going to be kind of fun. It's kind of what's the best word? Like a niche type of season, right? Like it's just different than everything else we've ever experienced in the world of Major League Baseball. But it's going to be fun this year. Like I'm kind of rooting on the Nuggets and the Heat right now because it's fun to see this in the NBA bubble. Things are just a little different. Let's get a little bit nuts this season because it's just an odd time in the world. And I'm interested to watch teams like Minnesota play in the MLB playoffs. I'm interested in the Cincinnati team, who everybody wrote off, including both me and you, saying they've been a complete letdown. Getting hot at the right time. This could be fun.
I mean, their pitching staff is pretty good with Castillo, Bauer, and Sonny Gray.
I mean, since he's a dark horse, they went from being, a little Cinderella darling for everybody this year to being like laughed at to getting hot at the right time. And if you got to go into the playoffs and like you just named it, go up against Castillo, Trevor Bauer, and Sonny Gray, like that could be a rough spot for a lot of people.
Most definitely. And I'm just going to put this out there on our video for a little, extra. If you're watching this right now, go put money on Manny Machado versus Eric Hosmer on overlay. He is a 6-point underdog, and it just doesn't make sense.
Seems like a misprint.
Yes, it does.
So get your money in where it fits in. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.